Hi guys, it's Simon. Welcome to this new AI radar. Let's start. VentureB reports that Piaggio Fast Forward shared details about work it's undertaking with industrial technology services provider Trimble, using the Boston Dynamics API to create robots that follow construction workers. Pilot tests took place at an office building under construction in Colorado. Robots can also travel in groups with one Spot Mini and two Gita robots in what Piaggio Fast Forward calls platooning. As part of the construction pilot, Piaggio is assessing human attitudes about how many robots following a human is too many. Optimizing the number of robots following people on a construction site concerns not only whether the robot can make it safely out of the path of a dozer driven by a human, but also the question of how many robots can be involved before things get weird. Piaggio Fast Forward CEO Greg Lynn told VentureB that the company could support a convoy of 50 to 100 robots, but that this would be impractical. Brookings argues that in this high-risk era, it is now time to negotiate global agreements governing the conduct of war during the early adoption and adaptation of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies to the waging of war and to specific systems and weapons. It will be much more easier to do this before AI capabilities are fully fielded and embedded in military planning. Similar to early treaties on nuclear, biological and chemical weapons in the post-war period, these agreements should focus on several key principles, states Brookings. Incorporate ethical principles such as human rights, accountability and civilian protection in AI-based military decisions, keep humans in the loop with autonomous weapons systems, adopt a norm of not having AI algorithms within nuclear operational command and control systems, protect critical infrastructure, improve transparency on the safety of AI-based weapons systems, develop effective oversight mechanisms to ensure compliance with international agreements. The New Yorker has a piece about the pastry AI that learned to fight cancer. The Brain Company revised bakery scan for medical purposes to scan small microscope slides instead of puffy pastries. Indeed, bakery scan is equipped with deep learning for object recognition to recognize different pastries to assist bakeries. However, the system was tested in hospitals to see if it can spot cancerous cells. Specifically, the system scans a microscope slide, identifies cells and measures the nucleus. Cyto A scan was then on its way to two major hospitals in Kobe and Kyoto, Japan, where doctors tested and trained the system with cancerous cells. Over time, the AI was able to analyze an entire slide at once and not just each cell individually. James Somers, the writer of the piece, shared the system was apparently working at 99% accuracy. MindMatters.ai argues why the mind is just a computation is a fatally flawed idea. The most obvious reason is that all mental states have meaning, that is, they are intentional. Computation, understood as manipulation of symbols, is never intrinsically about anything. A computer matches a set of configuration of electrons to another set of configurations of electrons. A map of a city presupposes the city. It makes no sense to say that the map is the city. In the same way, the pattern of electrons on the screen presupposes the thought the author is trying to express. Because thoughts cannot themselves be symbols, thinking cannot be computation. CNBC reports that some artificial intelligence researchers argue that regulators shouldn't impose strict rules governing artificial intelligence at this stage because it's too early. AI has been overhyped in some areas. It is only capable of narrow tasks, a far way off from the artificial in general intelligence, say the researchers. Among the researchers to argue this is Neil Lawrence, an AI professor at the University of Cambridge, then former Amazon machine learning executive. Lawrence told CNBC that nobody has developed an artificial intelligence system with capabilities of human intelligence, the definition of AGI. Rather, they are currently relegated to simple algorithmic decision-making things. The Verge reports that OpenAI's natural language processing model GPT-3 is currently used in 300 apps and is generating 4.5 billion words per day. Many analysts have noted the folly of building a company on technology you don't actually own. Using GPT-3 to create a startup is extremely simple, but it will be extremely simple for your competitors too. And though there are ways to differentiate your GPT startup through branding and user interface, no firm stands to gain as much as from the use of the technology as OpenAI itself. Another worry about the rise of text-generating systems relates to issues of output quality. Like many algorithms, text generators have the capability to absorb and amplify harmful biases. They also often astoundingly dumb. CNBC reports that OpenAI co-founder Sam Altman's idea for a universal basic income from artificial intelligence is facing its share of criticism. CNBC interviewed several industry sources who believe Altman's concept is unreasonable, misleading, and/or could cause more harm than good. Indeed, Altman predicts AI technologies will create enough wealth to eventually pay each US author $13.5 thousand per year. Governments will gather and redistribute the wealth generated by AI and machines as they take over human jobs, taxing companies and land rather than labor. The idea, also proposed by Stephen Hawking and others, was panned by Microsoft researcher Glenn Weil, who tweeted that it beautifully epitomizes the AI ideology that I believe is the most dangerous force in the world today. Altman envisions a world wherein he and his AI CEO peers become so immensely powerful that they run every non-AI company out of business and every American worker to unemployment, an anonymous source told CNBC. Myanmar's military have created a deep fake to depict a jailed minister admitted to corruption. That is the suggestion some journalists and Myanmar experts were making after a video of Pheo Minh Dain, a detained former chief minister of the Yangon region, appeared on a military-owned television network in which he seemingly confessed to offering bribes to ousted national leader Aung San Suu Kyi. According to a story in Asian tech publication KR Asia, many people who were familiar with Pheo Minh Dain said the voice heard in the video didn't seem to be his, and they speculated that the Myanmar military, which toppled the civilian government in a coup in February and arrested Suu Kyi, may have used deepfake technology to alter the video. But others noted that the video is too low quality to be able to tell for sure, and some even speculated that the military had deliberately released a very low quality version in order to avoid detection. Okay guys, it's all for today. See you next time. Bye.